Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Terry Blevins and this is my version of the Real Women of Philadelphia's dessert portion of this contest. Today we're going to make a Mocha Tirami-so-Good cake. I love tiramisu, it's one of my favorite desserts, and I wanted to incorporate all those wonderful flavors into a cake. And of course we're going to use plenty of Philadelphia cream cheese. So let's look at the ingredients for the cake portion of our cake. We've got a moist white cake mix that's made with egg whites. You just want to make sure you get one that has the moist in there to make it really, really good. We've also got a cup of water that I've added a quarter cup of a sweet Italian cream coffee flavor to. I thought the sweet Italian cream would go wonderfully. If you can't find it, feel free to substitute a French vanilla. That's fine. We've also got a third of a cup of a vegetable oil. We've got 3 egg whites that are at room temperature. We've also got 1 tablespoon of an instant mocha coffee that's going to go in one of the layers of our cake. And to pour over top of our cakes when they're done, I have a cup of water that I boiled. When it cooled, I put in 3 teaspoons of the instant mocha coffee and also put in 2 tablespoons of a mocha coffee liqueur. Now you can use any coffee liqueur that you'd like. I just wanted to keep the mocha in there to keep in the spirit of the cake. So let's go ahead and mix our cake batter. So we finished up our cake batter. The reason why I use a box cake is because there's certainly times when you want to make a homemade cake, and that's great if you have time to do that. In my life, most of the time, I don't have a whole lot of time, so the base of the cake mix, using it, is a really good shortcut. Okay, we're going to put half of the batter into one 8-inch pan, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the other half of the batter. Now, we're going to take our instant mocha coffee mix. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle that over top. And then we're just going to take a whisk. We're going to whisk that in. And this is going to make the other layer of our cake. And this instant mocha coffee is going to add a wonderful coffee and chocolate flavor to this layer of the cake. Okay. Now it looks like we've got all that in there. Put that in our other pan. We're going to put these in a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 28 minutes. Just watch your oven. Mine tends to run a little bit hot, so you may have to cook it a little bit less or until the toothpick in the middle comes out clean. Okay, so our cakes are in the oven, and we're going to go ahead and mix up a really delicious filling for this cake. And here are the ingredients. We've got, of course, 2 packages of original Philadelphia cream cheese. We've got 5 tablespoons of regular sour cream. We have a half a cup of heavy whipping cream, a half a cup of powdered sugar that I've sifted. Very important that you do that so you can make sure you get all the lumps out. We've also got 2 tablespoons of our mocha coffee liqueur, and last but not least, we're going to fold in a half a cup of chocolate-covered espresso beans that I've chopped in the food processor. Just simply pulse them for about 10 to 12 times and you'll be all set to go. Let's go ahead and make our filling. Okay, so we're going to start off with our cream cheese. You want to make sure that you blend your cream cheese really well before you start adding your other ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and get started. There. That looks really well mixed. Okay, so now we're going to cover this bowl with plastic wrap and we're going to put it in the refrigerator for about an hour. By the time your cake's completely cool, this will be firm and you'll be ready to go. Okay, so we've gotten our cakes out of the oven. We tested them with a toothpick. The toothpick came out clean. We're going to rest these on wire racks for about 10 minutes and then we're going to flip them out of the pan and let them cool the rest of the way. So now our cakes have cooled for 10 minutes in the pan. So I just want to show you a tip really quick. Whenever I'm going to flip cakes out onto a metal rack, I actually spray it a little bit with just some non-stick cooking spray, and make sure you have some wax paper or some parchment paper underneath. That way if you have crumbs from your cakes, they won't go all over your counter. We're just going to lightly spray this, and we're going to go ahead and flip our cakes out. So we're going to go ahead and let these cool the rest of the way, and then I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful frosting for this cake. Our cakes are completely cooled now, so now we're going to actually trim our cakes and cut them into layers. Did I mention this is going to be a 4-layer cake? It's going to be so pretty. You can trim your cake and level it 2 different ways. You can either use a serrated knife a long one if you have one, or this is my favorite tool. This is actually a wire cake cutter. You can pretty much buy it at any, craft store that has baked goods. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just trim and even up the top of the cake, and then we're going to come back and we're going to cut this layer into two. So let's go ahead and cut the top. Okay, so we've got our filling out of the refrigerator. We've also cut our layers into 4 layers of cake. So we've got our coffee mocha layer, and we've also got our vanilla Italian cream layer. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to use to make our frosting. If you'll remember, this is the coffee instant mocha Kahlua mixture. Okay, this is what we're going to pour over each layer of our cake. Then to make our frosting, we've got 2 tablespoons of the mocha Kahlua. We've also got a 1/4 cup of sifted powdered sugar. We have 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and this is the garnish that's going to go on the top of our cake. It's actually about 1 ounce, maybe 2 if you like chocolate as much as I do, of a semi-sweet chocolate curl. So let's get started putting our cake together. Okay, so to make our frosting, we've got our 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. We've also got our 2 tablespoons of our mocha coffee liqueur. Last but not least, we've got a 1/4 cup of sifted powdered sugar. Now, you want to mix this on a medium speed on your mixer, and you need to watch it because, heavy whipping cream can go from whipped cream to butter in no time flat. I have found that in mixing this recipe, you don't want to mix it more than 5 minutes. So let's get started on our frosting. Okay, so we're done beating our whipped cream mixture for our frosting. Now we're going to go ahead and take half a cup of this, and we're going to fold it into our filling mixture that we made earlier. That's what we're going to use for the center of the pieces of the cake. Okay, so now we've got our filling made, we've got our frosting made, we're going to start assembling our cake. Remember that coffee Kahlua mixture that we had a little bit earlier? Well, that's going to go in between each layer of cake, and I'm going to show you what you're going to do. You're just going to take a thin wooden skewer just like this, and you're just going to poke some holes about 1 inch apart on each of your cake layers. We're just going to pour a little bit, just be careful, of this over top of your cake. Okay? It's going to end up probably just being a couple tablespoons, nothing too crazy. Okay. And now we're going to put a layer of filling. So there's our first layer. Now remember, this is our mocha coffee layer. The next layer we're going to put is one of our Italian vanilla creams, then the coffee layer, then we're going to top it with the vanilla cream. And we're going to fill each one with the filling and also pour over the mocha Kahlua mixture. So let's stack our cake. So we've finished stacking the layers of our cake. We've got our filling in there. We've got our coffee mocha mixture poured over the top. And now we're going to go ahead and start frosting our cake. Okay, so we've finished frosting our cake. Remember, when you're frosting with whipped cream, you're not going to get that perfect finish like you would with a buttercream frosting. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to put some shaved chocolate curls on top of our cake. So we're going to decorate the top of the cake with our chocolate curls. This is going to be so pretty. Who isn't going to want a big old piece of that? So here we go. Our cake's all done. It's been in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. As you can see, the layers are just beautiful. You've got the mocha Kahlua layer, and you've got the Italian vanilla cream layer, along with the filling and the whipped cream frosting, and don't forget the chocolate shavings. So the only thing we need now to do is just put a little garnish on it. This is some fresh orange mint from outside in our garden. And there you go, your Mocha Tirami-so-Good cake. Please remember, the only difference between a good recipe and a great recipe is the amount of love and attention that you give to it. Thank you so much.